Today we're going to do a sous vide sirloin steak. When I was at the store today, they had sirloin on sale. I figured that would be a good thing to do. Sirloin is not one of the most tender cuts, but sous vide tends to help make that a much better, much more tender steak when you cook it. So what I'm going to do, I'll take this piece of steak. It's about 3/4 of an inch thick, so it's not a great big steak. But first, I am going to dry it off on top and bottom. I'm going to take a little olive oil and put on it. And I'm going to salt it and pepper it. And I'm also going to add a little garlic powder to the top. Give it a little extra flavor. Now, I'm going to use a Ziploc freezer bag to cook this in, but there are different kinds of vacuum bags that you get. The general idea is to get it into a bag with as little air as possible so that the liquid can flow around it while the sous vide is working. So, I'm going to take it and push as much air out as I can and partially close it. When I stick it in the sous vide, I'm going to get the rest of the air out. Now, first step is to put the sous vide up here and plug it up. I'm going to go ahead and use the sous vide cooker to get the air out of this. Push it down, let it push the air out. Get as close to the bottom as possible. Close it. The main thing is I want it to be sealed and stay under the water, which it appears it's going to do. So now I'm going to pull that out, set it right here until we're ready. I'm going to set the sous vide to 145 for 2 hours. So turn it on. I'm going to set the temperature to 145. That should be medium rare. And I'm going to set it to anywhere from 1.5 to 2 hours. 4 hours should do it, but basically I want it in about 2 hours. So that should be about right. Then I'm going to say go, and it'll start heating the water. Once it reaches the proper temperature, you add the meat, put the cover on so to cut back on the evaporation, and basically leave it alone for 2 hours. It won't take long for that to get ready. Okay, we're at 145 and it's time to add the steak. So here we go. And I'm going to use a spatula to make sure I get this down in the water all the way. And it does look like it doesn't have any air in it, so that's good. So I'm going to put the top on it and leave some of it sticking out on the back to make sure it kind of stays there. And now I'm going to leave it for, well, 1 hour and 58 minutes at this point. See you back in 1 hour and 58 minutes. Okay, the sous vide is finished, so we're going to pop the cover and then pull the steak out and put it to the side and let it rest for a minute. You'll notice that the steak doesn't look quite as appetizing as you would hope when it came out, but it is fully cooked. It just needs to be browned. So the first step is to dry both sides and then add a little oil to the pan. And when the pan comes to heat, we're going to cook each side to give it the browning it needs. And at the same time, we're going to add a little additional flavor by adding thyme and a little butter to make sure that we get the best flavor out of the steak possible. I usually add a little thyme to each side, and then as it warms up, I'll put the butter in and let it melt, and then I'll try and spoon some of the flavor seasoning over the top of it as it cooks to kind of enhance each side. All I'm trying to accomplish here is make sure that the steak has the crust that you would expect from cooking it on each side. The butter and the thyme are just to add a little additional flavor. All I'm trying to accomplish by spooning the butter and oil mixture is to make sure I get as much of the flavor on the steak as possible and give it a chance to soak it up. When you cut it, you're going to find it's very tender. It looks pretty good, right at medium, like I expected. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you get a chance, please subscribe. Thank you very much.